Hey, Katie and kids! Katie, aren't you gonna say hi? Come on, Katie. Now's not the time to be getting all shy. The kids are here to watch us. Oh, okay. So when I'm hungry during the show, it's because I'm a silly bird. But when you're hungry, we have to delay the show, huh? We just had a snack anyway. Kids, I think Katie thinks she's on a throat lolly ad, not a Katie and Koco show. Katie!
Oh.
That wasn't what I meant when I said to say hi.
Hi. Oh, my voice is back. Oh.
Always losing things, aren't you, Katie? Where did you find it again?
My voice was lost. Doesn't mean that. Let's just go tell a story.
Come and play with Katie and Koco. That's the way. Get ready, let's go. Flying through the air with Koco, telling stories with Katie, doing that together. Meeting my friends that help us every day. Katie and Koco, play and sing, pray and bring you in. How we do our thing is Katie and Koco.
I want to be good, but just not right now. Not yet. Let's be honest. How many of us have had that thought before when we're in the middle of doing something we know we shouldn't?
No! Okay, yes.
Like, I want to be good and listen to Mum when she says to start getting ready for school, but I'm just having too much fun playing or watching TV. I want to be good and speak nicely to my siblings and parents, but I'm just too angry right now. I want to be good and share my toys, but I just want them all for myself. Any of this ringing a bell?
It's ding-donging so loudly I can hardly hear myself think.
Well, Koco, I bet even your bell isn't ringing as loudly as it would for my friend Saint Augustine.
Really? What kinds of things did he do?
He wasn't just a bit naughty or disobedient sometimes. From the time he was a teenager, he started to live a whole life of bad behavior every day.
Did he know that what he was doing was bad?
He knew that his mum, Saint Monica, thought it was bad, but he didn't think so at all. He liked the way he was living, partying, having fun with his friends, being popular with girls, and going along with the latest trends in fashion and ideas.
Did his mum try to convince him to be good?
Yes, but he wouldn't listen to her. So she sent him away to study in the nearby city of Carthage, which is in the modern-day country of Tunisia in northern Africa. Augustine was incredibly smart, and he studied very well. But instead of making him into a better man, as Monica had hoped, he was only drawn further away from the Christian faith his mum had taught him as he grew up.
Oh no! Did he start believing things that weren't true?
Yes. Deep down, Augustine was restless. He tried seeking happiness in study and entertainment, but even though he enjoyed these things, he still somehow felt empty. He wanted to find meaning and purpose in his life, but unfortunately, God was not the one he turned to satisfy this longing.
He was putting coconuts. The answer was right in front of him, and he didn't even sing it.
Yep. Even though he was searching for meaning, he thought the Bible was basically for dummies. And besides, he didn't want to change the way he was already living. So he became attracted to a popular belief at the time, which taught that instead of there being one God who is all good and all powerful, there was supposedly an equal force of good as well as an equal force of evil. This idea worked for Augustine, because when he did things that he knew were bad, he could just tell himself that it wasn't really his fault, since he believed that it was part of human nature to be partly good and partly bad.
Oh, feathers and leaves. I thought you said Augustine was smart!
I did. And that's part of the reason why he eventually became unsatisfied with this belief and decided to travel to Rome, still in search of some meaning in his life.
How come he went to Rome apart from wanting to eat gelato and pasta every day?
Well, he definitely didn't go for the gelato because it hadn't even been invented yet. He would have to wait another 1,300 years. Even you wouldn't wait that long for a gelato.
Wow, that's a long time. I think I'd probably die waiting.
I think you probably would too. No, Augustine didn't go to Rome for gelato or even for pasta. He went there to teach, as he already had been doing back in Carthage.
Was he happy in Rome at last?
No. He had heard that Rome was a great centre for learning he was interested in. But it turned out to be less impressive than he thought. So he soon found his way to another Italian city called Milan. And it was in this city that his life was going to change forever.
Did he finally find God?
No, Koco. God found him.
How?
Remember how I said his mum had tried convincing him to be good, but he wouldn't listen?
Yeah?
Well, Monica was not the sort of mother who was going to take no for an answer on something as important as her son's eternal salvation. So, instead of pestering Augustine himself about returning to the true faith, Monica pestered God. Ever since Augustine was a teenager, she had been praying, weeping, and making sacrifices, pleading God to do what she could not and turn Augustine's heart back to Jesus.
God sure took his time answering his prayers. She must have been praying for years, Katie. I'm surprised she didn't give up.
Nope, not Monica. She trusted that God would save her son, even if it were only on his deathbed. Nevertheless, she still couldn't help intervening sometimes. And when Augustine traveled to Italy, she followed him in the fear that his sinful lifestyle would only get worse there. How was she to know that it was in Italy that Augustine would meet a Catholic he would actually listen to?
Who was that one guffey you listened to, Katie?
The Bishop of Milan, Saint Ambrose.
Oh, a bishop? And how comes Augustine listened to him?
Ambrose was a very smart man, and more experienced than Augustine in the topic of learning that he was interested in. So our friend developed a great respect for the bishop. Augustine had many questions, and Ambrose was able to answer those questions with a wisdom and clarity that Augustine had never encountered before. Gradually, Augustine began to be drawn closer and closer to Christianity. There was still a part of him that wanted to cling to his old lifestyle, and for quite a while, he simply put off the thought of actually becoming a Christian until he thought he was good enough.
Good enough? But wouldn't he be being a Christian help him to be good?
Yes, and there was a part of him that knew that, and that was giving him yet more cause for restlessness. One day, after hearing about two men who had suddenly converted after reading about the life of a certain saint, Augustine had had enough. He was with his friend Alpius at the time.
This is it? Are his mum's prayers finally going to be answered?
What are we doing, Alpius? Uneducated people are taking heaven by force, while we, with all our learning and knowledge, are so cowardly we keep rolling around in the mud of our sins.
Poor Augustine! Why could he study as much as he wanted to about being good? But it was up to him to actually become a good person. Did he at least ask God for some help?
How long more, Lord? Why don't you put an end to my sins this very hour?
He really did want to be good, didn't he? Did God answer his prayer?
At that moment, while he was praying, Augustine heard the voice of a child singing.
What was the child singing?
Augustine heard the words, "Take and read."
Take and read? Take and read what?
Believing that God had meant him to hear those words in answer to his prayer, Augustine decided to finally take the Bible and read it. And what did he read when he opened the Bible?
I don't know. You're the one telling the story, not me.
It was supposed to be a rhetorical question, Koco. I'm about to tell you.
Oh, sorry. What did he read?
He read the words of St. Paul, saying to abandon all impurity and imitate Jesus. And guess what?
What?
Augustine was finally given the strength to leave his old sinful life and was baptized a Catholic by St. Ambrose.
All right, that's amazing. His mum must have been so happy, so happy.
She was indeed. And when she died soon after, she went in peace, thanking God for saving her son.
What did Augustine do after that?
He was determined to make up for the sins of his past life. So he not only became a Catholic, but also a priest. His one wish was to give the rest of his life to God. And though he did do this, his idea of what that looked like was somewhat different to God's idea of what that looked like.
What was his idea?
He wanted to live a quiet life as a monk, abandoning the world completely. But when he returned home and was suddenly made a bishop, it became clear that God wanted to use his intelligent mind and newfound love for his faith for the good of the church.
He listened to God this time though, right?
Oh yes, he had had enough of not listening to God. And he now allowed God to work through him in whatever way it pleased God to do. Augustine wrote many books defending the truth of the Bible and Christian teaching, and sorted out many arguments that the church was going through at the time. It wasn't quite the monastic life he had foreseen, but it was certainly a life devoted to God nonetheless. When he died many years later, he too went in peace like his mother, thanking God that she had saved him.
I'm thankful for his mum too. I was afraid his story wasn't going to have a happy ending for a while.
Let's ask both of them to pray for us so that our stories can have happy endings as well. Dear St. Augustine and St. Monica, thank you for never giving up in your search for truth and for an answer to your prayers. Help us to find happiness in God and also to help others to find the same happiness. Please pray for all those who are searching for God that they may be found, and all those who are praying for someone who is lost that they will never lose hope. How's your day, Koco?
It's good. How's your day?
It's good, thanks for asking. How's yours? May I ask?
You may. My day is good.
Good, mine is too.
Is that so? So is mine.
Good to hear, mine as well.
Good.
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 Not good. We just keep going in circles. Your day is good. My day is good. Good. That's all we need to know.
Good.
Katie!
Are we trapped?
You are, and you're trapping me and the kids with you. Not good, kids. Not good.
All right, but imagine this. You're in a room with no windows and no doors. How do you get out?
I had a feeling this was gonna turn into a riddle.
Good. Imagining you're in a room with no windows and no doors. How do you get out if there's no windows and no doors?
You just walk and you're out.
How can you walk through a door? There's no doors. How can you walk through the wall? Can you walk through a wall?
You can break the wall down.
No. The wall's too strong. Can't break through the wall.
I don't know, Katie.
Well, think of how you can get out of the room. You're imagining you're in a room. So are you really in a room?
Maybe not. Wait! You stop imagining!
Yeah, because you're just imagining you're in a room. You're not really in a room. You're just imagining it.
Why the answer's always so obvious, but I never get them?
You're just thinking about it too much.
That's what I tell myself every time. So I think to myself, not think too much. But then when I try not to think too much, I end up thinking too much. But not thinking too much, and then I still think too much. My poor brain. I can't handle this.
Do you need a break with some craft?
I think that might be a good idea, yeah.
Okay, good. Let's go then. To Rome.
What?
I mean, to craft.
That's more like it.
Hello, back at craft.
Yeah, Katie, yeah.
You think you're gonna have fun for craft today, Koco?
Wow.
Yay, I'm gonna have fun too, because today we're gonna be making a heart cushion. Now, why are we making a heart cushion? Well, St. Augustine was known for saying, "My heart does not rest until it rests with the Lord." So we're going to make a cushion in the shape of a heart so we can rest on it and we can think of resting with the Lord. Okay, let's get started. So what we need is, I've got 2 sheets of red felt. It doesn't have to be felt, but I've got felt. I've got some golden thread to stitch, some wool to be the stuffing, some scissors, a pencil, and a thick needle. All right, let's get started. So first we need to make the outline shape of the hearts. One side is going to be the front and one side's going to be the back, so they need to be kind of the same size. So we're going to do it together. So line them up together, one on top of the other. Let's start cutting. You might need to, if it's too thick for you, you might need to take off a layer. I'm gonna cut it all together. All right, so we've got that. Now we just need to replicate that shape on the other side.
Wow, it's cool.
Now what we need to do is we need to make some cuttings in around this edge so that we can stick this thick needle through. So, got your scissors and start cutting some slits around the edge of your heart shape. We're going to do this all around the heart shape because you need to be able to stitch around the whole heart.
Wow, that looks really cool. Gold thread.
Okay, here we are back at the start. Now is where the stitching comes in. So get your needle, get some thread, and I've got gold thread, so nice and special. Get a nice amount and chop that end off, snip. Poke it through the end of your needle. Tie a knot to make it stay. Make it nice and big. It provides a good secure end. Okay, let's see. Now we're going to start, it doesn't matter where you start. Pick any spot along the edge. I'm just going to put your needle through. I'm going to start in the middle here. Put your needle through both sides. Find a hole on the other side. I'm going to start on this side actually because the hole is smaller there. Pull it all the way through. And then you're just going to do that all around the edge until you get near the end, because you'll need to put your stuffing in the middle. There we go. Half the heart is done. Now let's go around to here and then we'll start putting the stuffing in. Okay, so we'll leave this to put all our stuffing in. Nice and comfy. Let's just stuff that inside. There it goes. Oh, starting to look like a cushion now, Koco. It was looking a bit flat before, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but now it's a real cushion.
Our heart shape is complete and we'll just do one last little knot at the end so it stays. So we can cut off, we don't need that much. We cut off that extra bit, snip. And there's our heart outline. Now we just need to do the nice little tassels at the end. So all we're gonna do is just make some snips in the felt until we get to the heart outline. There. All around the edge, like this. There we go. Our tassel edge is finished. Just fluff it up a bit. Look how cool that looks. That is a heart on fire, isn't it? A heart, and we can rest our head on it. Our heart won't rest until it rests with the Lord. How awesome does that look, Koco?
It looks so good.
Very big for our chest, but a nice little cushion to rest on. All right. If you'd like extra instructions on how to make this heart cushion, you can find it at swpals.org. And Koco and I would love to see you guys making your very own heart cushions so you can rest with the Lord as well. Have fun.
Put that cushion in, Katie. It's making me sleepy. Let me rest my head on it.
But you can't go to sleep yet, Koco.
Oh, but it's so soft and warm. It's soft and warm.
Oh no. Koco, are you falling asleep?
Give me the nice pillow, Katie. Pretty.
Well, I guess we know the cushion really works. All Koco had to do was look at it and he started to fall asleep. Wait, I hope your kids aren't falling asleep just by looking at it. Okay, we need to get something straight. This cushion is just for reminding us to rest with God in prayer, like St. Augustine learned, not for actually falling asleep, like Mr. Cockatoo over there. Doesn't look like he's gonna wake up anytime soon. Maybe we just better leave him there. All right, well, see you next time, kids. Don't take it on the chin. Ask St. Augustine. And pray to St. Monica. You know she'll give it to you.
Come and play with Katie and Koco. That's the way. Get ready, let's go. Flying through the air with Koco. Telling stories with Katie. You and I together, meeting my friends. Friends that help us every day. Katie and Koco, that help us every day. Katie and Koco, play and sing, pray and bring. You and I, we do our thing. It's Katie and Koco.
Problems, worries, sadness. Are you seeking solutions?
Bible says,
Do not be anxious about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Choose faith over fear.